Hey, yo, what's up with yo bad self? Hi, I'm I'm Ben Rosenthal, one of the hosts here at Hack The Dino Gaming Cast, where we bring you the past, present, and future of video games news, previews, and discussions. Unfortunately, Floppy Starrick couldn't be with us tonight. He's off fighting evil by moonlight. But sitting next to me, as those of you on the podcast might be able to hear, is Anto!
Hello, everyone.
Anto's here.
Not sure what Ben's talking about. Hello, ladies, gentlemen, ladies, gentle thems, and everyone else. Welcome to the Running on Empty food review show. I am your host, the Report of the Week.
What?
I'm just kidding. Hi, I'm back.
What is happening? Brayden, what is happening?
I don't know. I was kind of in a fever dream. I thought Vanilla Ice was in the building for a second.
Well, I am cool as ice, and I have seen a turtle get down and swimming jam to a new wave sound.
Damn.
Yeah, vanilla is cool. That's
Damn.
an actual lyric. Yeah, he actually says that vanilla is cool.
Yeah.
He talks about how cool he is. Incidentally, Brayden, if
Yo.
you could just pop up again. Can you see how your green screen's not good?
Yes, I can. I can also see how pale I am, which annoys me because I literally just reset it just before the show started.
And you also just got out of the solarium, which are illegal here. Which is
Are they
probably
illegal?
Well, yeah, they got banned years ago.
Trust
Trust me, I travel in wrestler
you mean
circles.
Cancer? Oh, yeah, the
Tan
wrestlers
bed
would have been
salons.
pissed.
Yeah, they were banned in 2015?
Yeah, bombard you with UV rays. Anyway, speaking of being bombarded by rays that may cause you harm, I don't know. I lost my track. We're here to talk about video game stuff, and just so happens I got a parcel.
Ooh,
Today.
yeah. Been
Now-
wondering about this for 40 minutes.
I thought I would give you people a guess as to what I ordered off eBay and have in my hot little hands. Now, being off eBay, it's obviously something that I want for my collection.
Yes.
So, Brayden, what do you think? What's in this parcel? Without doxing me with the address.
I'm gonna guess
Just zoom in on the label.
a signed headshot of Mike Tyson from the hit game Punch-Out.
Man, I would kill for that.
I mean, I was making it up as I went, but honestly, that sounds like something you would buy.
Just for the podcast listeners, it's a DVD size box.
It's a DVD size box, so my thinking, I'm assuming this is where we were going, Mike.
What's in the box?
It's either a DVD or it's is it 5th generation title from the PlayStation 2, Xbox, GameCube, or Wii era?
Right. Michael Towns in the live chat over on twitch.tv/Hack The Dino has said it's Gwyneth Paltrow's head. No, it's not that. All right, here we go. So,
Can I take a guess as to actually what it is? I'm going to
all right,
name the system.
so it's got bubble wrap on it.
Yeah,
So
that's
what I'll
fine.
do is I'll take it out
Well, it's blue.
so you can see the size of it without revealing what it is.
I know what it is.
Do you?
Maybe?
Brayden, what do you think?
Oh, sorry, I was setting up the rest of the show. I only just looked back at the screen. What is that?
So it's in a
I think I know what it
CD
is.
case.
I think I know what it is.
All right, well then Brayden, have a guess and then we'll go to Anto.
Is it S Club 7's greatest hits?
Yeah, no. Anto? What do you think?
There ain't no party like a disco party.
Okay, I saw the red on it when you took your hand away.
Yep.
So my first guess of it being a 64DD game was wrong.
No, it's not a 64DD game. I'm
It's
not
an
that
album
rich.
of some kind.
It's not an album.
Is it a PS1 game?
It's not a PS1 game. It's something.
It's a CDI game.
It's not.
Oh, dang
I
it.
wish it was. Oh, I know where you were headed there. Oh my god, I wish. But I don't have a spare $800.
Yeah, no.
Okay, so I'm going to unwrap it now. As I said, it's a here's some ASMR for you people.
Ooh.
Or if you're not a fan of noises and microphones, ASM nah.
SM, nah, mate.
Nah, mate.
You just speak
Or
it
if
incredibly
you're a bird, an
Australian.
ASMR galah.
ASM galah.
ANZ galah.
Stop,
Anyway.
they'll make an ad with that.
So,
What on earth?
That's sick.
can you see what that is, Brayden?
What? Oh!
That is a Wolfenstein shareware disc.
That's hilarious.
That's cool.
That's so good.
So not only does it have Wolfenstein 3D on it, it has cannon fodder, rapid response, and Mystic Towers.
I haven't played Cannon Fodder in literal decades.
So for those of you who aren't like old men, like I am, so shareware used to be literally discs that you'd pick up for peanuts or they'd be given away. and would have demos of games on there.
Yeah.
This particular one, the Imagination Station, is Wolfenstein 3D, one of my favorite games ever and instrumental to my childhood. Guess how much that cost me?
$20.
It's 30. I wish it went higher.
Shit.
How'd you find that so quickly, Brayden?
I grew up in the Google era, mate.
Well, what?
I grew up in the era where I don't take 10 seconds to go, I wonder what that was. I just immediately Google it.
Right, your fingers do the walking.
Yeah, by the time that you had revealed what it was, I was already typing Wolfenstein.
Right. I think that's pretty rad.
That is really cool.
It's really cool.
I don't know where I'm going to put it, but I saw it and I went, that's $30. I can afford $30 for this.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah,
Ben,
shareware is super cool. Like, I remember growing up in the UK in the 90s, you'd often get shareware PC titles and stuff on the front of cereal boxes. So, like, I remember at one point I got Age of Empires 2 from a box of Frosties.
Yep. Remember that?
It's just nuts.
Brayden?
I was going to ask, can you just, you've got it in your hot little hands right now. Can you tell me if the top right corner says multilingual advantage?
I can confirm that it does indeed say
it's the same
multilingual
one.
advantage.
Multilingual advantage.
That's literally the one you have on screen.
What
is
does
literally
that
what I have.
mean?
Because if you speak a language, you have the advantage of being able to read what's happening.
Fair.
But if you don't, if you aren't lingual in at least one multi, you are stuffed, me laddio. Besides that as well, because we're talking about what we've been playing, I guess, as we'll segue nicely into that. I got a bunch of Super Nintendo games, a bunch of other games as well, but a bunch of Super Nintendo games from a garage sale for $10 each. So while I was cleaning and testing them, I played, NBA Jam, the first one, which I think is a little bit better than Tournament Edition. Call me crazy.
Ooh.
Was Tournament Edition the one where you could play as the presidents?
Yes, correct.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
Bill and
Bill Clinton?
Yep, and you could also, on the arcade, you could play as Raiden or Sub-Zero.
Because it was made by Midway?
Yes, correct.
Oh, that's cool.
What, you couldn't play as Reagan and Sub-Zero?
Yes.
Reagan and
Ronald Reagan.
Jesus.
Anyway, this game, my God, this is so instrumental. This, in fact, if it's not on already, I'm going to go down to the game club and add it to my list. Because
I'll have to come over and you'll have to show me how to play this because I've never played
you've
NBA
never
Jam.
played NBA Jam.
I've never played it.
My goodness, it's such a fun time.
I gotta say, I don't have much experience with NBA Jam, but Dylan the Villains brought it up in the chat from the Hack the Dino live show we did at the game, the arcade.
Yep. What's it called?
Can't remember what it's called.
Flipside Barcade.
Flipside Barcade. Thank you.
Incidentally, they said, "Oh, do you guys want to do another show?" And I went, "Oh, I'll get back to you," because my God, that was a lot of effort.
That's a lot of work. Dylan the Villain and I had a cracker of a game of NBA Jam, and it was so fun.
It's a great game, isn't it? Anyway, I played that. I played Aero the Acrobat, which is a semi-sought-after game. Don't know why. That game is trash.
It's just one of the 90s cash-ins, like let's create a mascot character and try and sell them similar to Mario and Sonic and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, and it was awful.
It's a pretty bog-standard 2D platformer.
No, it's worse than that. It's a bad game. But it goes for a bit of money, so I don't understand why. Mario All-Stars and Mario Kart. Mario Kart, that was fun, just sitting down on Mushroom Kart.
I love Super Mario Kart. It's my favorite one, I think.
So my daughter, when she played video games a lot more, was obsessed with Mario Kart on the Switch. Loved it. So I said, all right, cool, let's play some of the old games. So I got out Mario Kart for the Super Nintendo.
No, I know where this is going.
And she goes, I can't play this. It hurts my eyes.
Weirdly enough.
Yeah, so that's when I sold her and got a new daughter.
Slavery is illegal. Don't do that.
I mean, I gave her away freely and then kidnapped another child.
It's also pretty illegal, Ben.
It's all right. I killed her parents. So she technically is an orphan. So I'm doing good.
Is this the start of a comic book?
No, it's the start of a Republican debate. Anyway, it's all right. We're Australian. We're allowed to make comments like that. And
That's
no one
true.
takes offence.
Yeah, it's fine.
That's not true. Too many people got offended at Jack Black and they got cancelled.
No. Anyway. What were you going to say, Anto?
I was just going to say, interestingly enough, the comment about it hurting the eyes, I noticed, I'll talk about it in more detail shortly, but I picked up a CRT, an old school television this week.
Let's go to that now. Let's talk about your CRT that you picked up.
So I picked up a CRT, ended up with my banker, basically sort of thinking and assuming that I'd been a victim of fraud and almost closing my bank account, which was annoying. Go into that story another time, maybe.
Yeah.
But yeah, I plugged it in and just sort of sat in nostalgia for a couple hours and played the original Kingdom Hearts.
Isn't it awesome?
It was absolutely incredible.
Well, you think, nostalgia
it was
doesn't
so
affect me.
good.
I bought a VHS player, and then when I'm pottering around in my games room and cleaning games, I like nothing more than getting like Star Wars on a VHS and putting it in and just hearing that static from the 90s and the muffled sound and looking at that Vaseline screen.
One of the best parts of the whole process wasn't even like the detail in the speakers and the sound quality. It was literally just pressing the button on the front of the unit, hearing the boom and the like hiss as the TV starts up.
Yep.
I cannot tell you how much
man.
that filled my brain with nostalgia and memories of just sitting in the dark in the middle of the night, turning the PlayStation on and playing like Final Fantasy 7 or 9 or Worms Pinball of all things when no one else was around, so I could get as much time in as possible. It was just wonderful.
So as we can see on screen here, this is way too polished.
No, this is the original.
Yeah, I know, but it's way too polished. We need a nice Vaseline over the screen so it's all blurry. Because as I've argued many times before, Super Nintendo games, NES games, mainly Super Nintendo games and Mega Drive games, they were made with the art was designed to be sort of blurry.
Yeah.
Because the CRT resolution.
And it filled the gaps, kind of.
Yeah.
It's the same with like the portraits in the Final Fantasy PS1 games. The way the portraits of the characters in the menus look are designed around the fact that CRTs use scan lines. So if you run it on like a modern system, it looks really washed out and weird and blurry. On actual hardware that it's meant to run on, perfect. It still looks good to this day.
Yeah, I completely agree.
But to my original point, it did take about sort of 20 minutes for my eyes to adjust to the image after seeing nothing but buttery smooth, like 60 FPS stuff for the last maybe like 10 years.
Yeah, fair enough. But
after that,
everyone should get a CRT, and they're not getting easy to find anymore. You can't just find them on the side of the street like I did with floppies.
Yeah.
Oh, well, you ended up getting a good TV.
I did, but yeah.
All right, what else have you been playing, Anto?
Well, that's a question. So I have been playing a bit of Donkey Kong Country 3 because that was our game club title for the last fortnight.
About that.
We'll talk about that later. I've also been playing a lot of the Elden Ring Shadow of the Erd Tree DLC. Still not done with it. Buddy of mine, MC, and we got up to what most people assumed was the final boss of the DLC before the DLC came out. Turns out he's the halfway point, and he killed us instantly. So we left and did other things for the last, collective 8 hours that we've been playing. Because we're still not ready to fight him as far as like strength levels and stuff are concerned.
Don't you hate that? Like, I had that in Breath of the Wild when the first time I came up across a Guardian.
Like, if I agree, like, it is a bit frustrating when you run into something that you just shouldn't fight.
Yep.
But I do like the challenge sometimes of just sitting there grinding for hours trying to beat things you shouldn't.
I still remember the first time I came up across a Lionel in Breath of the Wild.
So
I went across in Laranu Plains, look at that bridge, and I came out the other side, and I could see it right off in the distance. I'm like, what is that? And I saw a little question mark coming up, and he just went, "Rrr." I went, all right, let's go then. Got my sword out, ran towards him. He just nerfed me in 2 seconds. I went, okay, so I'm not going near them again.
Yeah. Other than Elden Ring, I also recently started playing Dragon Age 2 because it's it's one of 2 Dragon Age titles that I haven't played, and there's a new one coming out in October. Finished that. Probably like a good 6.5 out of 10.
Ooh, okay.
What you're seeing on screen right now is Inquisition, which I've also been playing a lot of.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say because in the run sheet you wrote Inquisition, and I wanted to know about Inquisition. Then you said 2, and I was
this
like,
is all good. I just didn't put 2 in there because I was going to skip over it and be like, yeah, it was okay.
Fair.
Inquisition, very good time. It's one of Coda's favorite video games. So I'm playing it because she cannot bring herself to play the asshole playthrough and be mean to everyone.
Amazing.
So I'm doing that with my playthrough, and it's just been a great time.
That's fun.
So I keep telling everyone, being an arsehole is a great time.
Other than that,
Anto, okay, I've never played a Dragon Age game, but
Yep.
they totally seem up my alley, and I'm excited because the new one looks really good.
Okay.
In my personal opinion. Should I go back and play Inquisition or jump straight into what's the other one that people like?
Origins,
Yeah.
the first one.
Oh, yeah, I guess.
So, Dragon Age Origins, the first game in the series,
Yeah.
is much more akin to... So, people inevitably now compare it to Baldur's Gate 3 because they're very
Understandable.
similar in sort of approach, design, conversation trees, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Dragon Age Origins was sort of created as a stopgap for people to play because Baldur's Gate had stalled for so long. Like, Baldur's Gate 2 came out, nothing happened with the series until, 2023. So Origins feels very much like, and this isn't tearing down Origins in any way, but Origins feels like a very rough version of Baldur's Gate 3 with a lot less customization, that kind of thing. It's quite limited compared to, but it came out in 2009.
Yeah, that's a pretty significant difference.
So story-wise and gameplay-wise, if you can deal with sort of tactical sort of RPG-style gameplay...
Hell yeah.
Origins is a great time. Story-wise, it's brilliant.
Cool.
As far as how much of it leans forward into the rest of the series, Coda and I were debating that it probably doesn't. Origins feels like almost a closed experience compared to 2, Inquisition and Veilguard.
Does it feel a bit like a pilot? Like
Very
hey,
much
we
that.
can do this.
Yeah, it was like, hey, here's I guess they're CRPGs is what they're called?
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, Origins feels like its own sort of experience. 2 went heavy on the action combat and gameplay. Inquisition finds a more balanced approach, and Veilguard is basically fantasy Mass Effect.
Yeah.
So-
Which is why I'm so excited.
Yeah,
'Cause
I
that looks like my jam.
I would argue you could probably play 2, Inquisition and Veilguard, and not miss too much.
Okay, cool.
If you did a sort of bit of a lore dive on the story of the first game. Because the first
that
one's
sounds
quite
easy.
dense time-wise.
Cool. I will watch a video explaining one.
Yeah.
And then I will go on there.
DA2, I finished in probably 25 hours-ish.
Yeah.
Inquisition, I'm maybe 10, 15 hours into, and probably got a lot more ahead of me, so...
Nice.
Yeah. Anyway, I'll shut up talking now, because I've spent a lot. The only
Go
other
for
game
it,
I
mate.
played was You Suck at Parking, which I bought for like $24 the other day.
Good
on
time.
PS5. Hilarious. I'll bring it over, and we'll do a session, because it's just good time.
Sweet. Yeah.
So-
we need to actually. Funny you should bring that up. Brett and I have been talking.
Have you guys, Anto, you haven't been streaming it, obviously, but have you seen that it has a Twitch integration?
What?
So it has Twitch integration. People can just fire in the most absurd shit to completely mess you up.
What? That's great!
It's
So
very,
if
so
you
people
would-
can place mines and shit.
You'd like to jump on the old Dino stream?
Yeah.
Maybe that's something we can do.
Let's do it. That sounds great. I was having a blast with this morning. It's just your typical sort of arcadey, try and just finish the missions and just keep battering away at it, and it's just fun.
Yeah.
It's almost like slapstick arcade racing, is the way I would put it.
Yes. I know Floppy really enjoyed this game.
It's so funny.
Yeah, so they put up barricades, they put up mines, they send in airstrikes. It's very chaotic. Very
Yeah,
fun.
I had no idea. Literally no. I saw the game Grumps playing it 3 weeks ago and was like, you know what, I'm gonna get this.
Yep.
And yeah, no, that's brilliant. I love that.
Good
All right, Brayden, what have you been doing?
I have not been playing too much at the moment,
Get the fuck out.
but that's okay because I have 3 quick things I want to ask you guys about. First up, thoughts on the Astrobot controller.
Hell yeah.
This
Hell
looks
yeah.
so cool.
As soon as they go up for pre-order, I'm getting one.
Did you?
nice.
When I linked this to you in our Discord, Brayden,
Had
you seen it?
I had not seen it.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I like
I
being
didn't
the
know
one.
I mean,
Until
look at
you
the
shared it either.
sides. They've got that metallic-y look to it. I feel like the eyes on the touchpad, I think, are the only thing I'm kind of...
I would love it, and I,
I would
know
take it
this
or leave
won't
it.
I know
happen
what you're about to say, and I'm here for it.
if they were LEDs.
Yeah.
And they animated
And they were animated.
Yeah.
That would be amazing. I would buy this
incredible.
in a heartbeat.
I also would buy it immediately.
See,
yes.
I'm all for this controller, even with the touchpad design, because I've already got a limited edition controller with designs all over the front of it.
Yeah, nice.
So it would just sit nicely on my shelf of stuff
Yeah.
that
I
gets
love
rotated through.
it. Doesn't really come up too much via the stream because of bit rates and shit, but it's got these nice little sci-fi lines in there
Yeah.
that fit into the Astro robot type thing.
No, it's great.
I also just really like
the-
the look of
the-
the analog sticks.
The sticks, the blue symbols on the white clear buttons.
Man, that is going to get covered with so much Dorito
Oh yeah, it'll get
cheese.
grotty as
It's going
hell.
to be awful.
But it's a good looking controller.
It is a very good looking
It's great.
controller.
Probably the best one I've seen this year, actually.
Yeah. Another thing I want to bring up to see. I asked before, you guys haven't seen the game Date Anything. This is the trailer for the hit game Date Anything, which features an incredibly stacked voiceover cast.
Right.
In which you play as a character who walks around their home, and these glasses turn any object in your home that you look at into dateable, romanceable characters.
See, here's the problem, and I was just about to bring this up, and they showed it there. The trailer had the person, you said date anything, and the person was walking past a vacuum cleaner.
Yep.
And I went, hang on. And then we just saw that vacuum cleaner turn into a sexy anime guy.
Yep.
I'll leave that there.
I mean, does this not look exactly like what people want?
This is giving me...
Just depends.
His
Are you-
name's Hoove!
Brayden, are you JD Vance or are you not?
Oh, no.
This is just giving me Dream Daddy, but for everybody vibes.
Look at how many. There's over 100 characters.
Stop showing the vacuum cleaner one. Sorry, I just want to make sure. Did that little reference about JD Vance go over everyone's head?
No. it
You
did
understood
not.
where I was coming
Yeah,
from?
I got it.
I
Was that a
didn't.
rubber duck? That was a rubber duck.
Finally!
Not the cat! No!
Oh, no.
So just for Anto, JD Vance, the vice president nominee for Donald J. Trump in the election, accused
The
of...
guy who really likes Mountain Dew?
Yes.
He also loves couches.
Loves couches,
Oh.
loves couches.
Are we talking like humps the cushion
Like-
or
no,
puts
no.
a fleshlight between them?
Balls deep in a couch.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Jeez, you couldn't have said it more viscerally, could you?
Also a misogynistic piece of shit, so
Oh, yeah,
rotten
he's
hell, you fucking asshole.
I mean, that tracks. It's
the worst.
it's the party he's part of.
Anyway,
my last quick thing I
Oh,
want
yes,
to
sorry.
ask about.
My last thing. Yes,
last
yes.
thing. It's currently...
Michael Townsend in the live chat just asked if he can date my GameCube kiosk. If you want sloppy seconds, sure.
I mean, you got it used, so...
Ooh. And that's in public. It's in beta at the moment. It's apparently not releasing full until next year. I think Marvel Rivals might get me into
The hero shooter
multiplayer
genre?
hero shooters. I don't know. I'm hearing a lot of really good things about it. Are any of you guys even possibly thinking of checking this out at all?
No, sir.
I will check it out on the proviso that they balance the shit out of it, because
but
I
Jeff the
played-
Shark is so powerful.
I played Overwatch in its early days before they figured out sort of like the early like 2016, 2017 meta where everything actually worked and things weren't busted to hell.
Might be a while.
It might be a while before this gets to the point where it's fair, depending on your hero choice, but to me, this just looks like Overwatch with more recognizable characters.
That's exactly what it is, and that's exactly why I think they're
Yeah.
going to be massive.
Well, I
And
mean,
like, if Blizzard aren't making it, it gives me an alternative to play something I haven't touched in 6 years. So
That's
and
fair.
also, Overwatch is dead anyway, so it'd
Yeah.
be nice for people to actually play a game again.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, I'm hearing a lot of people, like
this maximum?
game reviewers and like podcasters and stuff, all saying like they're playing a ton of it. And it's like, this is the beta. It's like, okay, so when this releases next year, I might give it a go. And I'm
Yeah.
really not a multiplayer, especially not a multiplayer shooter person. But like, it's got characters I love, and like, I'm hearing it's very good. I don't know, man.
No, that's a no from me.
all I want
But they
is a
fought
melee-focused class.
Ben. They Fortnite-ified Overwatch.
Yeah, they did.
So?
What I want from this, Brayden,
It's
and
Avengers Kill the Justice League.
Ben may appreciate this particular thing. I want to be able to play as Wolverine
Oh,
and hear the Berserker Barrage voice line from Marvel vs. Capcom.
I want to hear that. I would,
Play Marvel vs. Capcom.
yeah. Or,
on what? Oh wait, no, they're releasing that collection, aren't they?
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And,
okay, no,
Brayden,
fair.
arcade machine right in the corner there
Also true.
with that game.
Also true.
Berserker Barrage!
Yeah.
No,
No, if you give this a go, I'll jump on with you.
okay.
I'll do
okay.
it.
I'll watch
Catch
the stream
us-
when
catch us
you
in
stream it on Twitch.
2025 when that comes around.
Hey, look, we're 5 months away.
My God.
Speaking of 5 months away,
Oh,
there's 5 months left of the $20 Retro Challenge for charity. Anto, why don't you explain what it is?
The $20 Retro Challenge for charity? Mm-hmm. I've only just become a successful participant in this. As
So
of,
what is
like,
it? What
this
is
week.
it? What's the whole idea of it?
So the Retro Challenge for charity we started off with $20. We have used that, or some of us have, to purchase an item, which we can then either sell on, trade up, swap, do something with the ultimate goal being that at the end of a year, whatever we have found, or items we have found, plural, we will sell off, and the proceeds will go to charity. I believe we picked Beyond Blue.
Correct.
The catch being that we are not allowed to buy things after 2009.
Correct. 15 years is
15
what we're
years.
determining as retro.
Yes. So anything pre-2009, whether it be old VHS, albums, video games, toys,
Books.
stuffed toys,
Board
books,
games.
board games, basically anything you can think of that is in the sort of pop culture-y entertainment space is fair game as long as it's older than 2009.
I'm just going to kick it off because I probably had the most least impressive haul of this last week, which is saying something if you watched the challenge last year. So I ended up selling the Magic School Boss. I got 12 School Boss.
The principal, you sold him?
Yep. Damn
What
straight
does it
I
do in
did.
slavery.
Anyway, I sold those 12 books for I think $30, $20, something like that. Considering I bought them for $4 or something, that was well worth it. And bought a Batman Returns movie book. Not gonna lie, I thought, yeah, Floppy will buy this off me like he did the Jurassic Park tape. But then Floppy replied, yeah, I've already got that. I'm like, oh, god damn it. So now I actually have to do some work to sell it. All right, Anto.
Hello.
You've drawn First Blood.
I have drawn Foist.
Foist?
Foist?
Foible.
I picked Foist Blood, I did. So I thought I had sold and or lost an item. I used my original Retro Challenge money from last year to buy this item, and then I lost it and didn't end up selling it, so I had to come up with a figurine.
Lost it. You moved house.
I moved house, so I lost it, but I've rediscovered it. I've picked up, and it was an interesting find. It was in an antique shop in Harndorf.
Ooh.
It's a teeny, I say teeny, it's like a teacup-shaped, sized flying saucer toy from Japan that has a mechanism where if you roll it along a table, it's got wheels on the bottom. It has like a grit surface that spins in the center under the flying saucer dome that creates sparks with a little metal thing. And it's just a super cool retro toy direct from Japan. Mm-hmm. And I saw it and was just like, great, I'm just going to use this for the retro challenge.
Any of these?
And then see the red one on the second row, bottom right?
Second row.
On the right-hand side?
This one?
It's basically that, but with two fins at the back, and it's yellow.
So it's nothing
So
like
it's not that one.
It's like that. So that pretty much that same toy line. I think that one underneath the big blue one down. No, go back.
For the podcast listeners, Brayden's Googling. Not very well.
Oh no, what did you do? Where did it go? It's fine. But yeah, no, it's super, super cool. That one there. Go up. Far right. That one. It looks like that.
Okay.
But yeah, super, super cool. It still functions. The action's really good. The quality of like the actual build of the toy is really good.
Brayden, can you just go back to it, please?
But yeah.
Oh, yeah.
eBaying.
I want to see how much it goes for. What's it called? M-A-U?
Marumia.
M-A-U-R-I-M-A?
Marumia.
Okay. Tin toy. Let's have a look. See what's going on with this bad boy. Sorry, one of the toys just came up in that line for like $600.
Yeah. No, it doesn't fly, Townsy. But yeah, no. As far as like the actual intended function goes, where you run it along a surface, it still sparks and lights up. It makes the whizz noise as it goes.
Nice.
It's not like a pullback, like what do you call them?
Toys?
Yeah, I guess.
Like a 2000 spin 'em up.
Yeah, it's not like one of those ones where you wind it back and let it go and it spins forward.
I believe the correct term is let it rip.
No, that's Beyblade.
Let it rip! Do you know how many Beyblades I see out at Savers?
It's Beyblade!
Yeah, when are they going to get back in?
Beyblade. Again, I've mentioned him once already. Buddy of mine, MC. Some of his friends have bought a bunch of bootleg Beyblades from Amazon with the intent to modify them and have like a Beyblade Battle Royale where they all put in like $10.
Oh my god, amazing.
Fame floors.
And yeah, basically, whoever wins
That's it.
takes the pot of money at the end, and it's going to be hilarious. Anyway.
Sweet. That's cool. And you got something else?
No.
Didn't you get another thing that you shared in our Discord? Starts with a V.
Oh, yeah. Coda and I went shopping and hunting for a few bits the other day, and we came across a bunch of old school VHS. Because similar to as Ben's explained on previous shows, we're getting back into analog media and old school tech and stuff.
Physical media is the way to go, kids.
It is indeed. So we picked up
streaming wars.
Yeah, take that, streaming wars. So I picked up Samurai X the movie on VHS, a Madman release. For anyone who pays attention to what it's actually called, it's based on the Rurouni Kenshin series about a wandering samurai who doesn't kill.
So Miyamoto Musashi?
Whoa, wait, that's the one that you got Dylan the Villain into.
Yeah.
Oh, he's been buying that from Greenlight Comics.
Yeah, good man, Dylan. Good man.
Well, if you want a VHS copy of it, Dylan.
If you want a VHS copy of the movie.
Only $50.
Only 50. But we also picked up Day of the Triffids, which is a fantastic movie.
Classic.
I think we picked up the original Dawn of the Dead. I'm going to have to look in the Discord quickly because I can't remember what the other things
that's right.
were.
You got other VHSs. They were very cool.
There's one that Coda picked up specifically because it was Peter Jackson's, one of his, originals before he got super famous with Lord of the Rings.
Not Brain Dead.
No, not Brain Dead. Where did it go? Bad Taste.
Oh, yes. Yep. With the Elephant Man.
Yeah. So that's going to be one that I watch with her when we get a VHS player because I haven't seen it and it's one of her favorites. So yeah, found some cool stuff. Yeah,
you got the CRTV because it was an ad that I linked you.
Yep.
So I am now having to link you some VHS ads when they come up.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. No worries. I'm on it.
When we go on a run to Savers, maybe I'll find one for $5.
You won't at Savers, no.
No.
But
No.
garage sales, leave it to me.
Yeah, sick.
All right. Cool. Brayden.
Yeah, hi.
All right, your turn.
I found a shitload of stuff, honestly.
Yep.
And I've had some success with it already, thanks to the wonderful two people sitting at the desk right there. Do you have them within hand's reach?
I do not.
Oh, okay.
What was in hand's reach?
Wait.
These.
Yeah.
So explain what you got, Brayden.
So I
Do you have a picture from the Discord?
I could bring it up. Let me open up Discord.
So basically, Brayden went out one Saturday. Funnily enough, the same Saturday that I went out with friend of the show, Ghost Games.
Oh, so you might have even found it if Brayden wasn't out.
No.
No, this was quite literally...
There was something in the air last Saturday because I went to 4 consecutive garage sales and each one didn't have any video games out. But when we asked, do you have any video games? They went, oh yeah, hang on. And bought out a heap and wanted basically nothing for them.
Yeah.
Like $50 for 2-3 boxes just full of video games and consoles.
So good.
It was amazing. If you would like to see that, you should head on over to Super Retro Squad over on YouTube because I film whenever I go out hunting. So if you'd like to have a first-person point of view of me finding stuff and buying it and get really jealous, head on over to Retro Game Squad on YouTube and subscribe and do all that fun stuff. It's heaps good, I promise.
I've just had a podcast name idea.
What is it?
RQP. Or RSP. Retro
RSP?
Squad Podcast.
Oh, so not Rising Sun Pictures.
Nah. Oh,
okay.
shit. Yeah, that's taken.
And what's more, it's taken by a company, a worldwide, well-known company, which is literally about 5Ks from here.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, extremely. No, I honestly was going for a walk. And,
Cool.
That's how close to my house this was. I was going for a walk, and there was a garage sale, and I walked past it, and I was like, well, hang on a second. That's a box of stuff. And this is that box of stuff.
Amazing.
So if anyone wants to hit me up for High School Musical SingStar or Buzz with all the heaps of Buzz games and Buzz controllers and shit.
So just for the podcast people, it is a box full of PS2 and Nintendo DS games.
Yeah.
Some of the Nintendo DS games include Pokemon Diamond, Pokemon Mystery Dungeon. There's a Mario Party in there.
Yep.
You've got some PS1 games, including Rebel Assault 2, which I asked Brayden about, and he's went, nope, mine.
No, that is quite literally the first game that I remember playing as a child.
And so so how much did you get that for, Brayden?
About $50.
And how much did I buy Pokemon Diamond off you for?
Actually, I can show you right now because it's in my pocket.
Well, you can just say $50, man.
I just $50 right there. Gosh.
So basically, through me, Brayden's already broken even.
Yeah.
And so, did you get anything out of there?
I did get a few things out of it.
Oh, really?
Brayden was kind enough to give me first dibs on the original Spyro of a Dragon.
Hell yeah.
On PS1.
I'm very sorry, Afronix in the live chat,
And
who
I'm sorry,
saw
Afronix.
Crocs.
Yeah, sorry.
I also got Croc 1.
Everybody loves Croc. Look at little Croc go.
I'm going to do
Everyone
a quick
loves
shout
Croc.
out for our dear friend and biggest supporter, Michael Towns. He did a live stream of the original Croc, and his opening segment was him in quite possibly the most wholesome, but also most scuffed Croc cosplay I've ever seen.
Oh, no.
He's just not paying attention, looking down, like holding a controller, and then he sort of suddenly just turns to the camera and looks deadpan at it as if he's been caught doing something.
My God.
And it's one of the funniest things I've ever seen. It was so good.
Head on over to Game Boy Games on the Twitch.
Please do.
Michael Towns, if you're in the live chat, please provide a link to your Twitch channel so everyone can follow it.
So funny.
So, yeah, I think we're all doing pretty good.
Yeah.
I think we've all...
Yeah,
all-
hit us up at the Adelaide Comic and Toy Fair.
Yes, which is coming in October. I think we're going to have a table just
What's
for...
the date for the Toy Fair in October?
I'll tell you after.
If you say the 10th, I'm so screwed because I'm not going to be here.
No, we'll check it out after. We'll
Okay.
be fine. Everything will be fine. Even if you give me your retro challenge stuff. I mean, after last show when you sold all my stuff for me.
That's right. I made you what, like, I don't know, $1,500 in Pokemon cards?
Something like that. Yeah, something like that. Don't worry, I spent it all.
I know you did.
October 7th.
Oh, sick.
So you'll be here?
Yeah, I'll be
Sweet.
here. I'm just going to be in Melbourne on the 10th and 11th.
Right. So, I mean, we are in the process of buying items and reselling them
Ah, yes.
to people, aren't we?
Yes, we are.
We are. But we're doing it for charity, so it's a good cause. But you use the word reseller in this day and age, and people give you a stink eye or worse. They automatically
Yeah.
think the worst of you.
It's got a pretty negative sort of association in most people's minds.
I want to know why. I personally do not see anything wrong with resellers. So, all right, I'll let you guys come up with the arguments against. But for me, if someone is using their time to
Yep.
go out and find things and then purchasing them, and I'm talking about people who purchase them for what they're asked for. I'm not talking about people who haggle down and nag and are really, I'm not talking about like everything.
People do it in an insidious way.
There are insidious people everywhere. I'm
Yep.
ignoring them because to me, that's not what they are. Resellers are people who go out more often than not. Again, not everyone, but more often than not. They are passionate people who are addicted to the dopamine hit, or it may even be their full-time job. You don't know. But they find this stuff, they clean it up, they test it, they make sure it works, then they sell it.
For what it's closer to what it's worth.
Closest for what it's worth. So they might buy something for $5 and sell it for, say, $50. Okay, yeah, it's a huge profit margin, but time, petrol, fuel, going out and actually hunting it. So, I mean, don't get me wrong. If you guys wanted to go out and find that stuff, you're more than welcome to. But me, for example, I go out every Sunday.
Yeah.
I'm at the markets at 5:45 every morning, so I can walk in there and talk to the people who are selling this sort of stuff. And those people, guess what? They get it off people off eBay or they go to garage sales. It's a whole sort of circle.
Yeah.
As long as no one's ripping anyone off like viciously, I don't actually see anything wrong with that. And the one point that I wanted to bring up, and I thought about this the other day and thought, yes, this is exactly a very, very good correlation. Brayden,
Hi.
like me, you're a bit of a comic collector, are you not?
Oh, mate, greenlightcomics.com.
Best plug.
Sorry, it's second nature at this point.
Comic book collections.
Oh, yeah?
Comic book collectors.
Whoa.
What's been happening since like the 60s?
Whoa, you talking about comic book reselling?
Yeah.
And speculation?
So
Speculators. Oh.
why is it okay for comic book people to go out and buy comic book sets and then resell that? Why is that accepted but video games aren't? All of a sudden oh no, you resell video games, you're ripping people off. How are they ripping people off?
I'm going to let Brayden talk to this first because you've brought up comics and that's a good comparison as far as like, I guess, different product types. And I've got a few thoughts both ways. So yeah, I'll let you go first, Brayden, because I'm pretty famous for rambling.
Hey, mate, so am I. I just have a button that literally cuts me off. Comics are interesting because comics, you get sort of two markets in terms of reselling with comics. You get people selling on collections. They're either getting out of the game or they have comics that are worth a lot, and they are like, well, this is worth a lot. I would like money, please. And that's a lot of it. There is another side of it, which is the speculator market, which blew up hilariously around COVID when everyone was getting back into their hobbies. And is already, like, I've already seen it, like, die down a bit. But speculators were people who were looking ahead and trying to predict what would be the next big thing that could sell for a bunch. And it was really toxic for a little while, because those people were basically just getting in the way of, like, actual people who wanted to read comics. And that's a whole side of things. Like, I think...
But they're scalpers.
Yes, they're basically scalpers.
That's not reselling. That's scalping.
No, that's scalping. That's them trying to do that. Reselling in terms of comics and everything as well. Like, yeah, it's that thing of you're selling something that people... It's a collector's market and also not. Like, for a lot of people, it is a case of, yes, I want these for my collection. For a lot of people, they just want to play them and then don't care. I do have one thing I'll bring up a little bit later in this conversation, and I've brought up a visual example, but I do want to see what Anto has to say.
I sort of zoned out because I forgot that I was meant to talk about Beat Saber and the exercise routine and health kick I've been on.
Yeah, we'll do that at the start of the next time you see us.
Yeah. But yeah, so the thing is, there's like a correlation between reselling and scalpers, as we've touched on. Scalpers generally, especially even on like a small scale where, someone... I've actually got a personal example. Kmart was selling Elite Trainer boxes, Pokemon card ones, for...
Pokemon cards?
$49 for a box. I went into Kmart at Furl, which is like 20 minutes from here, maybe not even that, just to pick one up.
Way to dox me, by the way.
Yeah, you could be in McGill.
You're within 50 Ks.
Dude!
Anyway, so I was just in line at Kmart, going to get this one thing, and a guy, 2 people ahead of me in the queue, walked up to the counter and said, I want as many of these as you have in your back room. And they didn't have a product limit per person, so this guy walked out of the store with 40 Elite Trainer boxes in a trolley and just smugly walked past everyone else who was in the queue, clearly there for Pokemon cards.
But that is a scalper.
And this is my point. He's probably going to wait a little bit until the sale prices die down or the next wave of boxes come out, and he's going to resell them for at least twice what he paid per box. So, yeah, like, it's...
Oh, that gives me the ick.
Yeah, it really does. Like, I don't use the term much, but it gives me the ick.
So, I'm not talking about those type of people.
I'm going to touch on resellers.
Okay.
I'm getting there now. That's my personal pet peeve of people who scalp to resell, because that's where people get, like, the terms conflated, is probably the best term for it. Reselling, like you've touched on, people who go out and hunt for stuff and put the effort in to find it, test it, make sure it works, repair it even if it needs it. It's a totally different ballgame. And, there's also the element of if someone is doing it privately for, whether it's like a self-employed business, as you mentioned earlier, or is doing it to plan for that eventuality and sort of, store stuff away, it's totally different to, say, a corporation buying a particular product for tiny amounts and then selling it for a 60 to 70% profit. So, and it happens across industries. It happens with sneakers, it happens with books, it happens with comics, it happens with video games.
Sneakers, you say?
Yes, don't talk to me about sneakers. I'm not buying those Sonic things off of you.
I wasn't. No, sneakers are actually the thing I was going to bring up.
Yeah, so, and again, there's the speculative side of it where people buy a lot of something hoping that it will rise in value and then make a profit later. But that's not what reselling is. Reselling is private individuals going to find something they want and they associate value to, or, it's important to them, and they'll buy the thing, and if they don't need it, why would you not try and make a profit off of it? It's totally different to a scalping situation where someone buys as much as they want and screws everyone else over.
Sorry, can I just quickly interject?
Yeah, please do, because I want to as well.
Michael Towns in the live chat has just brilliantly put it. I'm just going to read this out here. Michael Towns in the live chat. Reselling's closer to being a farmer. Scalping's closer to being big pharma.
Yeah, very much that. It's
really good. It's
the
really
analogy
good.
is great because, again, resellers and farmers, they go out, they put the effort in, they find, or in a farming sense, grow a product and then sell it. Whereas huge pharmaceutical companies, they stockpile and hoard and sell, especially in countries that aren't Australia, for huge profits. It's insane. You know, like you've got people in the US who can't afford medicine that they need to live because these companies have a monopoly on it. Anyway, that's a different topic altogether. Resellers does not equal scalping. Scalping bad. Resellers, as long as no one's doing it to a degree that's fucked, fine. Like, go and do it. Like, why should
Look,
an
don't get me wrong,
organization get to do it over someone else?
I see every week you see the
Whales.
Not so much
People
whales.
with lots of money who are willing to drop it to try and make a profit.
No,
No?
not them.
No?
I see the people who just nag and hassle and barter down and down and down and down. I'm talking about the people who I like to think I'm in there as well. When I want something, I go, how much are you after? I don't like offering. It just doesn't feel right with me. For me, I want to know what that person wants for that particular item.
Yeah.
If I don't want to buy it for that price or I can't afford it, okay, I just say, okay, that's not within my budget. Thank you, though.
Yeah.
And then it's up to them to say, okay, not a problem. And I leave it and I walk away from
Yeah,
it.
for sure. And like that's the ethical
But
way
then
to do
if
it.
they say, well, how much would you pay?
Yeah.
Make me an offer. I say, well, I'd probably be in it for this amount.
Yeah.
And they can either say yes or no. And
Yeah.
that's when negotiation
That's
starts.
the ethical way to do it because you're not
Pressuring. You're not nagging.
No one is being put into a state of disadvantage if you ask a question and you say yes or no to the answer.
And as far as I am concerned with it, if someone's happy selling an item for that much,
Yeah.
so if I'm happy selling this for $10, but it's actually worth 80, if the person's happy selling it for $10, why doesn't that person deserve a bargain?
Yeah.
Like, you are allowed to go out and get bargains as well. If that person, again, not accusing people, but if they are just wanting to get crap out of their house, like, for example, I picked up a whole bunch of video games at the weekend for $50.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, the games in there are worth more than $50, but that person said, I don't know, I'd be happy with $50.
Yeah.
Is the expectation for me to sit there and go through eBay and go, okay, well, this one's worth 10, this one's worth 15.
Exactly
this
what happened with the box down my street.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's exactly what it was. And I'm also of the opinion of if someone is well off, sure, doesn't hurt them.
Yeah. But you've also got, and again, there's two sides to what I'm going to say next. We also live in the age of information. If you are not willing to put a little bit of time into figuring out what you have, and you're willing to just say, I want this for, or I want to sell this for X amount of money, and you haven't looked up what you have, this is where I'm going. Floppy's just brought this up in my live chat. What about the ignorance of the seller? So
Ignorance is bliss.
ignorance is bliss to a degree, but again, it sort of ties into what I'm saying. Like, you know, if you've got a bunch of stuff that you're not sure on, it's not hard to ask someone or look up on the internet a product. Like, we live in an unprecedented time where you can find out pretty much anything with a few words on a search engine what something's worth.
It's
like
also
10
like
seconds.
people who take their old video game collections into big video game stores.
Yeah, like
GameStop, for example, in the US are notorious. It's a meme. They do not give you anywhere near
Yeah.
what those games are worth. Yes, they have to do staff and they have to do employees and they have to have all these overhead costs. There are people who are full-time resellers who also need to make those needs. So why is it okay for a big corporation to under speculate things, undermine items, but it's not okay for a sole business person or a collector to do the same?
Yeah, and again, ignorance of a seller and knowledge gaps and stuff, they exist. That's just going to be a thing. But again, then it comes down to personal responsibility to a degree. Like, if you have a box of stuff that, you know, even if you're not super familiar with it, you might have relatives or friends who have children who know about this sort of thing. There is no harm and there is no reason for them not to ask someone who maybe does know a bit more, what is this worth? Should I sell it for more than I want for it?
Exactly.
You know, there's ignorance and then there's laziness. So if you're not willing to put the effort in to find out what you have what the value of something you have is, it kind of falls onto you in the end. Like, if you're walking into a place and saying, I will only give you $5 for this box of stuff that I know is worth $10,000, you've probably got a bit of a moral problem. But that's not the case, and that's not going to happen very often. So, again, comes down to personal responsibility. If... I don't know, personally, if I saw someone had something that was super valuable, I'd probably tell them, like, hey, you're doing a dumb. But not everyone's going to do that. And again, personal responsibility. If you're willing to sell something and you just throw out a ballpark number, the other person is not obligated to tell you what you have is worth more.
Just so you know as well, shoes on the other foot.
Yeah.
If someone's selling it and they have like a Wii and they want $200 for it.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not going to go up to a guy and go, hey, that Wii's only like worth $50 if that. Like, that's what they want for it.
Yeah.
They want that much. I'm not interested in it for that price, so I'm just going to leave it. Like, ignorance goes both ways.
That's the thing. And like, between adults who are reasonable, you should be able to say, what do you want for this? Okay, no, that doesn't suit me. Or yeah, okay, I'll take it for that. And if you don't, if someone makes another offer, great, you can talk about it again. Discussion's the name of the game. But if you're just going to walk in with an adamant sort of stance of, I refuse because I know what this is worth, then it becomes more grey and weird and silly.
Yeah, I mean, Floppy in the live chat has just brought up something as well, and I don't want to sound like I'm going, I'm heaps good, but I think it perfectly exemplifies.
Ben, you're heaps good.
I am heaps good, I know.
You're heaps good.
But there was a gentleman at a toy fair a couple of years ago who was
I think it was just
selling...
last year.
No, it was a couple of years ago.
Really?
Yes, like
oh my
2
God,
or 3
is it
years
that
now.
long?
And this gentleman was selling his childhood Nintendo 64 collection. And he had StarCraft 64, which is an $800-900 game, easy. He was selling all of them for like
Years, Jesus.
20, 30, $50, including this really expensive game. And he had no idea about prices. And it was before doors opened, and I knew there were people in that hall who would swoop in. Now, I could have quite easily just gone, I'll take all of them. How does $500 sound?
Yeah.
And I could have sold that one game if I had that game. I wouldn't sell it. But that one game that's worth $8,000 to $1,000. But I said to him, no, because this is his childhood collection. This is a one-off collection. And I sat down and I priced everything for him.
Yeah.
And as a result, he said, well, what do you want? And I said, well, I wouldn't mind that, wouldn't mind that, wouldn't mind that. And he did me a really good deal.
Yeah. And this is the thing. There's give and take in all these situations, like especially at things like sellers markets and toy fairs and stuff like that.
I did have another seller have a go at me for helping him out. By the way.
He can get stuffed. He probably wanted to buy StarCraft for $50 and flog it for $1,000.
Correct. That's exactly what
Anyway, like community events where like there's a lot of like-minded people, there's always going to be a bit of back and forth where, someone's willing to maybe go a little lower than they would like ideally. That's kind of the point of markets and stuff like that anyway. But garage sales are probably the best point. Like, if someone is just saying, here's a box of stuff, I don't know anything about it, I want $60, you're not obligated to say no. You're not obligated to say, yeah, it's not worth 60, it's worth X amount more or less.
I've left so much.
If you're just not happy with it, don't take it.
I've left so much behind that I haven't been happy with, and I just don't want to sit in there and try and beat them down.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, like, you should only be willing to pay what you think something is worth to you. So, again, personal responsibility, and that's all I'm leaving it at. Brayden, you wanted to talk about shoes.
That, as well as I want to give my personal opinion, which is way less serious. Everyone get ready for a joke.
This better be...
When it comes down to it, no word of a lie, I look at a person and I 1000% judge them based on how they carry themselves and their looks, and I go, do you deserve more money? Or are you a rich asshole? And if they give off rich asshole vibes, I will gladly
hose them.
Absolutely annihilate them
for
something they don't care about and don't know about.
For me, it's politeness.
Oh, yeah. If someone's really friendly,
nice to me, even better.
Yeah, I'll be like, yeah, sweet, cool. I'll give you actually what that's
at
worth.
a toy fair. I had DuckTales, Nintendo 64, not Nintendo, NES, sorry. DuckTales on the NES for sale. And I had it for $25, which is a pretty good price. It's a good game. It's a great game. And this father and son came around. The son was probably about 23, 24. Father was a little bit older than me. And they picked it up and went, oh, is this a good game?
I like how you don't touch on how old you are. Just like, a bit older than me.
A bit older than me. Is this a good game? I said, yeah, it's one of my favorites. It's a great game. Oh, $25. Would you do 20? And I said, no, I think 20, 25 is pretty fair for that, truth be told. I'll give you $20 for it now. no, 25's fine. Anyway, they went away, came back, and the kid picks it up with his dad standing and goes, I'll give you 15 because it's still here. And I went, grabbed it and just went, now it's $40
Yeah, what the hell?
because you pissed me off.
Yeah,
and
gross.
turned around and walked away. Anyway, I do recommend if you want to have a look at someone who does reselling full-time as a business, look up a channel called Phoenix Resale in America. He is completely open to what he does. He sells stuff on Amazon and eBay, and is, like, his personality grates me a little bit, but he gets so much hate. So much hate. He gets accused of inflating prices because he buys and then sells it. Not inflated prices. He sells it below what the eBay average is.
I mean, I've seen stupid stuff like people saying that channels like Metal Jesus Rocks inflate prices of games just by talking about them. It's all
ridiculous.
a bunch of bullshit.
It is. It's absolutely ridiculous. And this guy gets a lot of hate, more than anyone else, and he's still tried to maintain positivity with it, which I think is everything that you can do when you're faced with that kind of hate. And I will just say, many of the people who resell, I have seen them offer more money. Like, actually go, no, in fact, I was out last weekend and someone offered one person $20 for 2 Nintendo DSs. And this person went, no, I'll give you more than that, and offered them $40.
Yeah.
Because it was too cheap. Turns out those DSs didn't work anyway, but it doesn't matter. The thought is like...
It sounds a bit personal there, Ben.
It wasn't me. It wasn't me. But if you watch Super
would've tested
Retro
it.
Squad, you'll find
know
out
who
who
it
in a couple of
was.
weeks. We'll be back next time with another show.
And another floppy.
Probably, if Floppy's not fighting evil by moonlight and winning love by daylight.
I thought you were going to say farting love bites.
Always ready for a real fight. He's the one named Super Flop. He'll always be there for a friend. I don't know the rest of the lyrics. I've forgotten it. But it's Sailor Moon. Go look it up. It's a pretty famous anime. You should know it. Why don't you know it? She gets stalkers, but come on, that was your sexual awakening.